Hello, my name is Leila Sanchez, and this is my Assignment 1.2 Simple Starter Project Overview. To start, I made a custom map where I edited the surface materials and rescaled objects to better fit my game. I also imported a few assets, including sounds from Kenny, some blueprints, as well as static meshes. The four principles of object-oriented programming are abstraction, polymorphism, encapsulation, and inheritance. Abstraction is the idea that we can create objects that hide complex elements from other programmers. Looking at the blueprint of my seeker spawn point, here we go, get that open. Other programmers would really just need to know in here that when P is pressed, that the seeker is spawned. Polymorphism is when we can use the same word or name for different things using various inputs and outputs. An example of this would be in the following tool blueprint that I created right over here. Looking at the event tick, I used get actor location, but one of them with a different input being this get player pawn node to change the value of this. Next would be encapsulation, which is taking all required elements for an object and putting them into one package, such as a class. All of the created blueprints take advantage of encapsulation. Finally, inheritance is when an object has methods and properties of the class it derives from. The majority of blueprints I created use inheritance from the predefined actor class. So for the vector map and movement, I actually created two actors that move towards the player controller, the seeker and following tool, or pliers actually in this case. Let's take a look at my seeker actually. Seeker blueprint. Let it load up there for a second. Sorry if it's a little slow. To explain how I found the vector between the player pawn and the seeker itself. I use these first two nodes right here to get the XYZ, which is this return value, the vector of the player pawn, which would be the third person in this case. I then got the XYZ of my actor, in this case itself, the seeker, which you'll see in the game is a golden sphere. I then subtracted the two from each other, and then this would give you the difference. This return value vector right here is the difference. Following this, I use some more blueprint math functions. I use normalize, which just sets this value equal to 0, so it's easy for other programmers to manipulate using variables. So you'll see I created this variable speed, for instance, and it is a float, and it is visible, so people can edit it looking at the components section right here on the details panel. For simplicity, I'll just type speed so it appears. So right here, and I set the default to 100, but in the editor you could adjust it to whatever. Besides this, I would like to run a version of my game to show some features. All right, on load, I actually set a delay. Welcome to my game. My name's Leila Sanchez. And let me show that real quick. I set a delay. All right. that is 0.8 of a section. And I actually made that a variable so anyone can edit what the text displays when the text will display. Besides that, let's get started. So when you start playing, I have these pliers that follow you around, and I have this static mesh staircase that I imported using the Place Actors toolbar. And then I have some other shapes, cylinder, some cubes, and this is like the fanatic. Congrats. And also on the key press piece, I have some orbs that follow, and if they collide with anything, they will sparkle as well. So, little Easter egg there. And thank you for watching. This has been my first game attempt, one of many.